Hello there guys, Gabriel here once again, this time with a brand new car, and I'm guessing by the video description you already can tell what I'm driving. It's a BMW X5, the 2016 model. It's an xDrive30d, which is basically the cheapest diesel 6-cylinder engine you can get. Of course, you can also get, with this new generation, you can also get 2-liter diesels, but to be honest, even though they will be good enough in every situation, I wouldn't recommend them. 218 horses might seem like enough, but the car is not actually that light on its feet. So the xDrive30d is actually the cheapest model I'd recommend getting. However, they don't come cheap. The one I'm testing today has a price tag of 95,000 euros, but it includes individual leather and a host of options that make it stand out in the crowd. The exterior color is space gray. The color of the leather inside is called smoke opal white, and to be honest, it is one of the best I've had the chance of testing out. I've been doing this thing for about 4 years now, but getting into individual BMWs for test drives, it's something you don't come about too easily. Now the X5 has been on the market for about 3 years now, but BMW has plans to offer it within a shorter production life cycle than usual. They will replace the current model, the F15, in 2018, making it offering it a total of 5 years in production. Now what that means is that why they did that is because the new X7 will come out, which will be an even bigger BMW SUV. And the platform for the X7 will be based on the CLAR architecture, or cluster architecture as BMW calls it. This new cluster architecture is a lot lighter than the one the F15 BMW X5 is using. So since BMW will have to install all the new robots needed for this new architecture in Spartanburg, where all X models are being made, they decided to upgrade the X5 as well. In this regard, this is both good and bad news. It's good news because the new model will be a lot lighter, but the bad news is that it won't get a completely new exterior. As a matter of fact, according to my sources within BMW, the new model will look roughly the same. It will appear as a sort of facelift as we know it. It will seem like a facelift to the customers, but underneath it all, it will be a completely new model. Now, you might find it peculiar that the BMW X5 is still using old generation engines. Well, that's because BMW knew they were going to invest in the new platform and offer it a completely new underpinnings on this model, so they decided to stick with the engines they have. Though the engine inside the X30D model is the N57 we have all known for a couple of years now. It makes 258 horsepower and 560 Newton meters of torque. That being said, it is an older generation engine, but it's still extremely smooth, extremely capable. You have nothing to worry about. Around town, I'm seeing about 9 liters per 100 kilometers in fuel consumption, which for a car this big, it has a bit over 2 tons. It is absolutely brilliant. Outside the city limits, I'm betting on about 7.5 liters per 100 kilometers, which is still pretty good. The engine responds very well to your inputs. Get the car in sport mode and you will feel like you're basically a race car driver, because it is incredibly smooth and responsive. The F15 X5 is also a very comfortable car. The comfort mode will go over potholes really easily. You won't feel any uncomfortable jolts inside the cabin. The dampers are set up really nicely, and this car has 20-inch rims, which really don't help out. But even so, you'll be extremely comfortable inside, plenty of space. As a matter of fact, the X5 is actually the biggest car you can get. So if you're a family man, you love the BMW brand, there isn't a better model you can go for. You have plenty of room in the boot. You can fold the seats in a 40-20-40 split, so the car is extremely practical at the same time. Now with the new model coming in 2018, we'll also get the new engines, the new B57 engine, for example, for the 30D model that is already used on the 7 Series. This new engine will have 265 horsepower and 620 Newton meters of torque. And trust me, it is even smoother, less rattly, and offers even better performance. All in all, a completely new, the B family of engines will be used on the new X5, from the 3-liter petrol engine, which will have 326 horsepower, to the new tri-turbo, no, it will be a quad-turbo 3-liter diesel engine, the B57S, which will have 400 horsepower and some 800 Newton meters of torque, being the only engine in production, excepting the Bugatti Chiron, that has 4 turbochargers. But that's in the future. For now, the X5 is a brilliant car. It will get everything you ask for from it done. You won't have any issues with it. Around town, the car feels easy to drive, especially in comfort and eco pro modes. It is a big car, especially for European roads, but around the US you won't have an issue with the roads. Parking it is very easy because you have very good visibility up front, to the sides, and even in the back. But even so, BMW is offering park distance control, which is their parking sensors system, for free on every model, so that's a big plus. You can also get the remote, the rear view camera if you want to, which could come in useful. You can also get the 360 surround view cameras that are even better. Outside the city limits, the car accelerates swiftly. It will do 100 kilometers an hour from a standstill in 6.8 seconds with only 258 horsepower, as you're about to see. The biggest challenge for the BMW X5 comes from its competitors, and the fight is absolutely brutal. The X5 goes up against the brand new Audi Q7 and the Mercedes-Benz GLE. Now, the Mercedes and the Audi might have the edge in terms of interior styling, even though I don't agree. I prefer the layered and simple look of the BMW X5's dash. Even though it's just a small evolution compared to its predecessor, it looks absolutely incredible. You get everything you need at the reach of your fingertips, and who could say that these seats aren't just brilliant? Now, some would disagree because the Mercedes does look a bit more elegant, while the Q7 follows this minimalistic trend that the company has set. In terms of handling though, I don't think either the Q7 or the Mercedes come close. The Mercedes is a bit more comfortable, but when you push it to about 8 out of 10 lengths, it starts to fade away. The Q7 is a bit better, but I just don't like its exterior looks. It's too boxy. Now, of course, these will be subjective matters, but to me the X5 still remains the pick of the range because it has the best price performance comfort ratio. Now, when the new model will come out, the X5 will be even better. It will get a new chassis code, it will be lighter, it will have all the new technologies you can think of from the 7 Series. It will get gesture control, the iDrive 5.0, which is already being rolled out on new models. This one unfortunately doesn't have it. But starting with cars ordered after July, all of them are getting the iDrive 5.0. So what can I tell you about this car? Well, it's very practical, it offers a lot of space. Customers that have families will be looking to buy this one. As a matter of fact, looking through the BMW lineup, you can find a more practical car than the BMW X5. If you're a fan of the brand and you want a practical car, this is the one to get, no doubt about it. You have about 651 liters of space in the boot, which is the most you can get on a BMW for now until the X7 comes out. Fold the seats and that goes up to about 1700 liters, so you have cavernous boot space. Around the cabin, cubbies are absolutely okay. You can store things like even bigger water bottles in the door bins. In the central console you have cup holders, everything you could ever need. The car is big though, it weighs over 2 tons and you can feel it in the bends. The steering is not all that direct, so you don't get a lot of feedback. But on the plus side, navigating around town is easy to do because the electronic power system has a rather short steering ratio. So it's easy to turn and you won't have to swerve the steering wheel too many times. You also get the PDC control as standard, even though the visibility is absolutely incredible. You can see through the front, to the windshield, the side windows. You can see clearly, no obstruction whatsoever. So, what is there to say about the X5 as a conclusion? Well, the X5 can be both a brilliant car and a disappointing one. It all depends on how you configure it. These days, premium manufacturers get a lot of money out of the way customers configure their cars. Luckily, BMW offers all sorts of packages that can help you improve your car without spending a lot of money. They're offering technology packages, comfort packages that combine a lot of elements you might need without paying for them individually. So overall, the X5 is a brilliant car, but it depends a lot on how you configure it. That being said, I can't find any flaws with it except maybe the pricing, but that depends a lot on what you're getting for. The 30D is a great all-rounder. Unless you're racing, you probably won't need either the 35D model or the M50D version. As for the petrol choices, I wouldn't go for them because they are a bit thirsty. They are a bit on the thirsty side, and diesels usually offer a bit more torque, which does prove to be helpful. Hope you liked my review, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.